Hello, guys. Your boy Genius out at the range today with the Taurus Tuck 22. I am to understand that tuck means tip up compact as the barrel tips up. Now, I know that they made a version of this years ago. I think it was a PT22, maybe even some other type of variant. I can't really remember. Maybe it was steel frame, something like that. I heard, again, no personal experience, but I heard they were plagued with issues and they have been discontinued. So if you're familiar with the Beretta, is it the Tomcat, Bobcat, those types of setups with the flip up barrel, I've had several of them and still have one of them, actually, the Tomcat, maybe in the 32 ACP. Like it a lot. It was a great gun, very reliable and functional, especially in the 32 ACP, as 22 can be a little finicky sometimes. Although I'm not necessarily using cheap ammunition today, I have had a few issues with it. As you can see here, I had a situation when I first, then these were the first couple of magazines where for some reason or another I would pull the trigger, the first round would go bang, and of course the next round would chamber, but the trigger would not reset, it would not come back out. Okay, that happened about 6, 8 times maybe. And so I did drop a few drops of oil down inside of there around the trigger and the trigger spring and all of that to see if maybe it was, I don't know. Again, Taurus did send me this, so I don't know if someone else had reviewed it. The gun did look clean when I got it, but it's hard to tell, especially on a gun like this, if it has been used, abused, shot, reviewed by a lot of other people. I'm not really sure. Occasionally I will get a new one. Maybe it is new. They just didn't tell me. They didn't say. So it could have already previously been fired. But again, it did look as though it had been cleaned. It did look clean. So maybe it was a break-in thing. I'm not sure. It did not do it anymore after those first, 5 or 6, 7 times, how many ever times it happened. You had your typical, failure to fully eject, your typical issues that you see a lot of times with the 22 round that can sometimes be very, very finicky, if we can use that word. Not always the most reliable round in general, nothing to do necessarily with the firearm. It only shipped to me with one magazine. It will take 9 rounds. It does have the little tabs on the side that you can pull down to assist in loading, and the slide itself is relatively difficult to rack, no problem. The barrel flips up, put your first round in there, push the barrel down, have your magazine fully loaded up, you're ready to go, no need to rack the slide. So I don't know, pretty good concept, I guess. I am bleeding. I got some crazy, crazy slide bite. I was having a difficult time trying to figure out, as you can see from the shooting there, trying to figure out where to place my support hand. I had it back here, I had it back here, and one time I had it back here a little bit because, again, I just didn't know where to put my support hand. I got some big meat hooks, as people say, and the slide hit my thumb here on its progression back, and so that made me bleed. I'm bleeding in the web of my hand, but never mind all of that. I'm not crying about it. It's whatever. This is a ankle holster type gun, maybe a pocket type gun, and so when you pull this out, whether or not you get slide bite is kind of going to be irrelevant, I would say. It has a nice orange square high vis, if you will, front sight, so it does pick up pretty good. I'm standing here at about 13 yards, which is probably a little bit too far away for what you would be encountering someone with this pistol with, but whatever, that's where I'm standing. But accuracy, I don't know. I'm getting a little bit better with it as I'm trying to figure out how exactly to keep this thing in my hand with the support hand. So we had one of those. Again, that's pretty typical with most 22 that I shoot, where you have those where it won't fully eject the round. But again, I don't think that speaks necessarily to the gun. Definitely accurate enough. Not sure if you noticed, even if it's still in there, I don't know. But I took a hot cooking round to the neck, and I was a trooper. I stayed in there and stayed on target. I paused for a minute while it was sizzling my neck, but that's okay. No problem. It happens. And again, standing here at 13 yards, you know, it's decently accurate. The more I shoot with it, the better I get with it. Again, easy to pick up on that front sight. The rear is just like a real deep, like U, if you will, and it is blacked out. There's nothing, no white dots, anything like that on the rear. It is a double action only, hammer fired, does not lock back on the magazine. Again, mine came with one 9-round magazine, so it's 9+1. Is it a formidable pocket gun? I mean, I don't know yet. I'm going to have to shoot it some more. Again, with the issue with the trigger being sticky and a few of the little odd little failures I had while I was shooting it. It feels good in the hand. I mean, I will say that. Because it's so short and the awkward trigger guard, which it is a large trigger guard, you definitely get your hand in and out of there without an issue. It does, for me, it's a little complicated trying to figure out where to place my, my offhand. So for me, if it was in my pocket, it's going to be this. Forget the offhand, I'm shooting it one-handed. That's just basically, for camera, because of the trolls, you know how they are, they're already going to call me out for some of the stuff. But I definitely don't want to get too far forward with my thumb there and it get close to the end of the barrel. You know, nobody wants that, right? And so you kind of find yourself, trying to hold it back here like this. You're not really sure how you should hold it. But again, real life application is coming out just like this. One hand, that's how it's going to be for me. So that's probably how actually I'm going to shoot it from this point forward, is just one-handed. I'm going to do some further testing. I'm going to get it on the table. Going to make sure, again, I did not clean it up. It had the little sticker around the trigger guard, but they've sent them to me like that before, and some other influencer had reviewed it, so that doesn't necessarily mean anything. So I'm going to take it home before, because again, I want to give a fair review on it. So I'm going to take it home, clean it up a little bit, review it some more, maybe bring it back out to the range tomorrow. But it's a cool little deal. I'm to understand that the original one, not so much. Not sure if it's as good as the Berettas are, but the Berettas are a lot more expensive than this is. So a little thick through the grip, polymer on the bottom. I think the original one was steel, so it's lightweight, feels good, balanced well, fits tremendously well in a pocket or a coat pocket. I'm not sure what type of holster just yet that you would use, if you would use a holster at all, because that trigger is crazy long. So you're not going to accidentally pull that trigger, I do not believe. But either way, it's been fun. It was fun to shoot. It made me bleed, but that's fine. At least I know I've been to the range shooting something, right? And so again, none of that matters, because this is not something you're probably coming to the range and just shooting for the joy of it. It's a pocket pistol. It has a purpose. It's meant for a reason. And, so far, I think, one hand's where it's at. That's what I'm saying. Like, you need to shoot this gun one-handed, in my personal opinion. And did not have any intention of going into great details. The slide serrations here are very aggressive, very deep. But again, it is tight. So if you have issues with racking a slide, probably not going to matter. But put you one in there. Don't worry about racking the slide. No concerns with that. Again, not talking about weights, lengths, all of that stuff today. This is the initial range trip today with the TUC 22, the Tuck 22 from Taurus. I will get it on the table, but I want to get it home, get it cleaned up a little bit, see if we can get a few of the bugs worked out if there are bugs, and so I can have a little more fair review on this thing, give you a little bit more fair assessment, if you will. That's the word I'm looking for. And so I'm going to do that. So far, I don't know. I like it. Kind of cool with it. Make sure you know Jesus Christ is your Savior. Go over, check me out on Patreon, $5 a month. Please consider doing that. It'd help a great deal if you enjoy the videos. The best blue collar reviews on YouTube. The Taurus 22 Talk. I don't know. Give me a few more days. Let me clean it up. Let me play with it a little more. Promise I will get it on the table and tell you a little bit more about materials, lengths, weights, all that stuff you'd like to hear about. One magazine, 9+1, 22 long rifle. I don't know. I ain't going to tell you to go out and pick one up yet. Let me get it to the range one more time to be a little more fair with it. Be sure you hit the thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. Only way I can continue to keep doing this on this day that the Lord has made. Be blessed, and to God be the glory.